Must be. It must be more than one. The camera shuts. It keeps shutting off by itself. The building was completely empty. It looks beautiful when you stand outside and look up and see that the only light is on is mine, the way I would love for it to be, to eminent domain the area in the capacity that is suitable for my museum of art. Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn like Medina because it'll put you in the moment of the here and the now where the Lord is going to transform the darkness into the light for it to be a lamp unto our feet and a light unto our path. Now, so many people is being delivered and they wonder, my life is being changed by her. I don't care who don't like her. Okay, well, what you are experiencing is God, his own energy, which he promised to put inside of us. That is what Christianity is. If God doesn't find your temple, your body worthy to come and possess you, not for nothing evil, not for nothing that you don't need, but to bring you into a fruition of human creativity, like much like him. That's what makes you his child, and him the Father. That's what you're praying about because he's a creator. He is also one who has shown proof that he has created everything down to the atmosphere that supports our healthy breathing, to the climate that creates the conditions in the water suitable for us to drink it, for the air to breathe. I mean, it's just a list of things that you can say, well, whether or not I want to believe it or whether or not I challenge the idea that Satan has power too, he doesn't have the track record of creativity, if that's what you need to hear. But I didn't need that much because I know what God has always been. He's a presence in my life that even the worst of the worst or the best of the best has always said, why Diane and not me? Well, it is the God in me of obvious reasons. And when someone chooses to ransack people and businesses and things that are having a small, a nursery size existence, and you decide to pull that up so you can do what with it? Once you pull up a nursery rooted plant, it's too small for you to do anything with. You ought to have let it grow and bear the fruits, low hanging fruits, so forth and so on. But the air is blessed to the point where when I just went and looked up, I said, now this is how I want it to be, in order for me to say that I accept the amass of being. I mean, when you look at how is this animal dude with no college credits, no type of, only thing he has is the ability to say with his tongue, feed me, say with his tongue, you didn't pay me, all these different threats types of things, and people actually doing what he says to do. Mm-mm. That's all he has when he was able to amass a store over there across the street, all the apartments around me, and just have people following his command. That's Satan. He believes in that, but I don't give it any power. But I do want to say that you are all in our communities. We are all, and the only thing that's true about his together is that we affect one another when we impose upon one another, when we invite ourselves in a way that over exceeds the capacity that the person intended. Now, if the person inviting you to a party for one night or didn't never invite you, whether or not you show up and think that that's yours, what you see them with, you see them online come to it and going. The marketplace is like, you want something bad enough, you'll sell newspapers or bottles of water and walk down the traffic in a hot day and make sure people have a drink, or whatever you need to do, you would do if you really needed it that bad. So we got to be careful of whose story we believe that. Well, is this guy with all this um, orangutan strength, or is it true that all he can do is have make sure he monitoring me deeply, looking for crumbs, because I think my value has grown so much that I'm being blinded from seeing it. But it's not like I don't know. It's not like I can't say to myself, well, the amount of people who are attracted to me are men without jobs and who would want to rob me. So I just want you to make sure that what I need, that I have, and what is mine, you kind of don't let them see it. I've had been in situations where I prayed like that. Um, I say all that to say this, that shout out to all of those who have my back in the courts, court system, lawyers. I've solicited everything to do with our government. When you see friends and you see that I can't really accept you at that moment, I'm really going through probably a spiritual battle, or battle with defending my honor and my respect and my business banner, my title. Like, you'd be surprised how many people just can't really go and register their business, or don't want to pay what their business is taking in every month. By the end of the tax season, they like, I don't want to give uncle anything. Like, but you sitting around in uncle's city and town, and you looking around and you seeing the wealth. Well, you should give him whatever he think, because if you're too poor, you might not owe him anything. But if you really are up there, and you being fed, that's, you got those type of people who just want have, have bricks and bricks of money brought in, or even those who are extremely poor. You just have no right to go above and beyond the stringent necessities of the community's needs, and take in, for instance, saying, well, mudslinging on another person that lives not even near you. They live all the way in New York, or in California, and he hauling ass to whatever town I'm in. And the people who are excited about, well, I'm Medina's favorites and I want to get, some pet clothing and whatever, they're in the mindset of, no, I just want to just embrace her. When you can't do that, you can't embrace me. I'm embraceable. I can tell you right now, guys that are in love might feel like me and her was, handling our business on a rendezvous. They probably like, nah, this bitch is just not fair. And it's not that it's not that I have no capacity to love, but I have self love, and I understand how you can be torn to shreds if you're not careful. That's the first thing. And then, second, I'm a parent. I can't let myself be led astray to what I feel love is owed to me, or my son catching hell in the goddamn street. So once I get those two realms together, me feeling safe, and then me feeling like my son is safe, the love for the, three, life is a three-ring circus. It's you, your children, and your mate. Hey, that's just is what it is. I'm not going to let any of those things go in an immediate family, just the hope that I could bring in something that, might love me, because people love you one minute and then they hate you the next. They love you long enough to make sure that they have taken you, for what you are worth. I can't, I'm too experienced to be taken for a ride. David, bump that for me, if you will. Um, so I could get my dance on my two step, and had I like that he has his radio live, but as a Facebook page video, if you live, that's a real good um experience and a thing to do. But this guy has had these people really showing up here, and I'm just looking at why he was able to amass the amount of real estate to circle me. And for someone who has the credentials to keep a business, American owned business going, that it's just seeming like even the space that I have, like they could be here, but they're here living for free. I don't know. Do they pay? Yeah, I believe that she wouldn't do that, let a bunch of people in here that. But even while they're here and they're paying, if they're paying, they're still taking orders from this dude. And, you know, so I commandeer, acreage at a 1 mile radius, and then at its circumference. And I'm just praying to God to start with the seed, which is where I am, and just amass it in a complete circle so that I can make my relative safe, my most important relative. I don't need to say who or what. And then as time goes on, we can decide how, how we can enjoy our country the way, other people could just pull up here on a bicycle. This guy was black, dark skinned, might have been 18 years old on a bicycle, and he started yelling to standing on a corner where I could hear him in here. They know I can hear them, and he's saying how he's like he's got my VCR on a remote because the actors are feeling like I need to pay them. Now, the good side of that, here's the two sides of it. The good thing about that is that if they are to the point where they are getting the karma of hiring all these horrible actors shooting at the cameras, and you're like, what did I do wrong? You can't never figure it out, because instead of them being astute enough and saying, you know, all of the all of the watchers of our movies haven't been paying, whatever. You could say what you feel more than shoot it out and like, I know I haven't shot at you. If that's what you need to be able to prove self defense when you're gonna come out and want to shoot somebody. So I know I'm not that bad where I shot your ass, but I'm looking at movies, and so anyway, whatever. When I realized that the devil could give them that power, because then nobody asked for them to fire all the directors and all the a lot of them ad libbing, saying shit that you'd be like, huh? Well, no, they want you to tell them no. They literally have it hooked up to where they're like, you gonna do everything, we gonna do everything in the scenery, you gonna do everything on the dialogue, writing. So my name's supposed to be on a script going up as a writer. These motherfuckers is crazy. And I thank God that it hasn't paid off well. To their way of doing things is showing that I don't know whether you're washing money doing this shit or not. That's what it is they got a lot of laundry in to do. And so they get the scene going, they hire who they want, and they start harassing everybody from the people who are watching the movies. If Diane likes that movie, let me run with you. Why? I'm not doing anything for you, 50 shit. I mean, I just don't want to even give them no shouts, because I say that to say this is that we're on the right path if the horrifying, you know, they have the power to break your DVD player, and cause it to say no CD, and then keeps telling you when it's saying that. Like, to me, that's a powerless move, because you really low. If I paid for my DVD player and I paid for the movies I send out to Amazon.com, ordering the Da Vinci Code trilogy. Like, there's Angels and Demons, and what's the other guy? Starts with a D. Dante's Inferno. That's the third movie in the trilogy. And I got the same kind of movie with Mission Impossible. I needed to complete my set is the new one that came out, MI6 or 5, one of those. But to think that they haven't even been paid at the box office, like, it's like, what the hell are you talking about? So then you're in a home theater, and then they're like, this is an opportunity to invade your home. Like, it's nothing more than that. Oh my God. I mean, the world is full of things that we need to get used to, or either put it in its proper perspective, because we are the leaders of our world. We are like, we inherit the transitioning into technological phases that, in fact, intrude in a unnatural way. Like, talking to people who, like, as the phone call thing, like, somebody came past yesterday and said, you called Chris. And I'm like, I played a video game where one of the clients' name was Chris, and I did not call Chris. Like, they just make it up as they go along, and like, you have no control over how they think. So our best bet, and I say this, and I'm like 100, is to let the proof be written that they are nuts. That is, people who are considerably retarded. And when you get that information, it's best to try to amass it and acquire it on some sort of media form, because for somebody to lose their mind, it's important for the medical field to know about that you do got patients, and I'm talking about people who are sick. You just got to decide if you're going to go ahead and treat them to save the rest of the community, whether they have insurance or not, or start working in that capacity, but in a way, like me, for instance. I started getting it. I realized that my anthropology degree and studying the cultures is my passion, but it is far less valuable without a PhD. And I heard that from my professors in the past, but it is even more evident when these people get to know where you live and they just again and again find you. You got to understand that they're medically challenged, mentally challenged. And what are we going to do with the healthy hospitals? Look, we got to get into these communities and do these walkthroughs. And when people are having these complaints, you come and check in the mental stability. You might have to put a lot of them asses to bed. And as sad as it may seem, but when you got somebody who's confessing that Diane is got too much Comensa or whatever the fuck. That means trying to say I got too much food rather than enough for the month, which truly ain't the case. But what little bit I got, they bringing their babies over. He's doing a lot of violating things. Like, what else are we to do? Like, it's between the health and hospitals and our court system to decide if we're going to assist ICE, because ICE has been having a wonderful response, but once they get these people's change their plans all over again, they're gonna need our support. And some of these men, voila, what are we gonna do? Mass graves that we've been finding in archaeology. Well, guess what? Here's why. Because people are deciding to do what 50 Cent says to do. Just fuck over Diane, whether she's done anything to you. The movies are shooting at Diane. She has done nothing violent to them. Violence. And thus by violence the city shall be taken. Well, we gotta decide if we're gonna let violence destroy us when we're absolutely innocent. I mean, the hospitals, you're losing money because they won't come in and pay you money. Well, guess what? They're figuring out how to empty out the hospital for your medicine, for your doctor's jobs. I mean, it's everything that violates our what is legal. For instance, you're practicing medicine without a license. All these different angles. Oh, ransacking American students who are studying medicine. I'm studying a medical assistance course right now. I actually passed that class by the skin of my teeth, but now that I've come home, I've got this guy really, whenever I take a full course load, which I'm only able to take half, he's mimicking or repeating he's just here, and that's disrespectful. So I said that to say this is that we're being eaten alive, and they're figuring out through insider trading that how do we just destroy America. And it's through the people, they're through the citizens, they're feeling the flames of our ability to have. And then there's the have nots. Well, they decided to come here and stare at what we have. So how do we deal with, they're not willing to roll a Frankfurter card out like other aliens are doing and serve hot dogs, serve water, serve a newspaper. Some of them cannot wait for that slow churning butter to turn into cream, or slow churning cream to turn into butter. They got so many ways of making money that to choose the one that offends your fellow man is the wrong thing to do. And so, I mean, hopefully our government and our town can see that when they were able to occupy a human cage around me pretty much, and now they're probably somewhere worshiping the devil together. One thing they do have is that they are on the same page with what they're trying to do. And when I looked, I'd been noticed that after calling my legal team, that the store across the street closed finally during the day. Boop, boop, boop. I don't know where that means he went, but then I came out and looked upstairs to get some air. And the building is completely black all upstairs. They jump really hard, and it's when I finish cooking. What are we, family? And where is their food? Do you know that each level has a kitchen? Why aren't they in there cooking? Surrounding people, and they're on a mission, and maybe their voodoo daddy says you are not allowed to cook. I don't know. Probably because they're on a 24-hour surveillance team. I mean, come on now. I suggest that we I try to keep my Facebook page open to the government so they can have a place where they can look through my stuff and say, well, this is a non-hostile environment towards our government. I mean, and then I go on some of their pages, and people are just being very rude to the lot of them. Like they're talking crap about Nancy Pelosi and how she's pissing so and so off, and they're talking crap about our president. It's like you should be thrown in jail the minute you ain't have an opinion. But oh, I can't wait to get rid of this orange hair. Who in the hell do they think they talking to? Well, he is the president of the United States right now, and that's who the hell he is. Like, what the hell you mean? Who he? All these things that they're doing. It's just not my cup of coffee or tea. But to see that me coming up with a portfolio idea of how am I gonna pay for a museum? All of them agree that I haven't reached my goal yet, but the idea of how to fundraise to make it a reality, here they showing up with babies and shit and small, and yelling, and then opening up shop with that as a business instead of their own venture. Like, the reason why is probably they like we opening up her business. That's the ultimate blow. The death penalty should be imposed. And I say that to say this, that in archaeology, when you see those mass graves and you didn't know why, the same shit was happening. Either they was genociding or they were defeating a present enemy who made it impossible for you to have a recourse. Some things are just, if you don't kill your enemy, he will kill you. Kill or be killed type of deal. Because I be looking for the movie theaters to be paid. Like, why aren't they already paid if they got a blockbuster movie and all these movie theaters? Why are they saying, I'm going to break her? Because there's crackheads around here saying, pay me. It ain't the people who made the movies. It's crackheads talking about pay me. And so, peace out. Thank the Lord for how far we have gotten. And I know that the Lord is not done with me yet. Blessings, Medina speaks for this segment of, oh, no, they didn't. Oh, yes, they did. Bye.